Good morning, everyone. We're here today to discuss a critical development that will significantly impact the real estate industry: the new anti-money laundering requirements from the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN. These landmark changes are set to become effective on March 1st, 2026, and they represent a fundamental shift in how residential real estate transactions are reported and monitored. Our goal today is to provide you with a comprehensive guide to navigate these upcoming regulations, ensuring your compliance and preparedness. This isn't just another regulatory update, it's a transformative framework designed to enhance transparency and combat illicit financial activities within our sector. Beginning March 1st, 2026, the U.S. Treasury's FinCEN is implementing what's officially known as the Residential Real Estate Reporting Rule. This new framework fundamentally changes how certain residential real estate transactions are reported. Its primary goal is to eliminate money laundering through all-cash property purchases, which have historically presented a significant transparency gap. The rule's scope is nationwide, covering all residential properties across the country, and notably, it has no price floor or geographic limits. This means federal reports must now be filed for specific all-cash purchases of residential property when the buyer operates through an entity or trust, bringing a new level of scrutiny to these transactions. FinCEN is taking this action because real estate has long been identified as a blind spot in anti-money laundering enforcement. All-cash transactions, particularly when conducted through legal entities like LLCs, corporations, or trusts, have allowed true owners to mask their identities, making it a prime channel for illicit financial activity. Residential real estate, especially in the luxury and all-cash segments, has become an attractive avenue for those seeking to launder money. These new rules aim to increase transparency, identify beneficial owners, and ultimately prevent money laundering. This initiative brings U.S. real estate compliance standards much closer to the rigorous international banking transparency norms we see globally. Understanding which transactions trigger reporting is crucial for compliance. There are three primary conditions that must all be met for a transaction to be reportable. First, the property type must be residential real estate, which includes single-family homes, condominiums, cooperative apartments, and even vacant land zoned for residential development. Second, the buyer structure must involve an entity or trust. This means the purchaser is a legal entity, such as an LLC, corporation, partnership, or trust, rather than an individual buying in their own name. Third, the financing must not involve a traditional institutional mortgage. This includes all cash purchases, hard money or private loans, seller financing arrangements, and any non-bank funding structure. While there are key exemption categories, such as transfers due to death, divorce, or certain intra-family restructuring, most standard investment and business purchases will trigger this new requirement. FinCEN has established a clear reporting cascade to determine who is responsible for filing these reports. The primary responsibility falls to the settlement agent. If no settlement agent is involved, the obligation moves to the title company. Should neither of those be present, the escrow agent becomes responsible. Finally, if none of the above are involved, the closing attorney serves as the final backstop. This hierarchy ensures that a responsible party is always designated for filing. Compliance is a mandatory federal requirement, and it's important to understand that non-compliance can lead to significant civil penalties and even potential criminal liability. Therefore, identifying and fulfilling this filing obligation correctly is paramount for all parties involved in these transactions. For each beneficial owner of a purchasing entity or trust, the reporting party must collect comprehensive identifying information. This includes the individual's full legal name, exactly as it appears on government-issued identification, their complete date of birth for identity verification, and their current residential address, not a business address or P.O. box. We also need their country of citizenship or primary nationality, and a tax identifier such as an SSN, ITIN, or foreign passport number. This level of disclosure represents a fundamental shift in real estate transaction privacy, meaning entity buyers can no longer maintain anonymity. A beneficial owner is defined as any individual who exercises substantial control over the entity or owns 25% or more of its ownership interests. Title companies and settlement agents will need to develop new intake forms, verification procedures, and secure data management systems to handle this sensitive personal information in compliance with FinCEN requirements and privacy laws. These new regulations will have a broad impact across the real estate industry, requiring increased disclosure, documentation, and compliance from various professionals. For agents and brokers, this means a greater need to understand the beneficial ownership of purchasing entities and to educate clients on these new requirements. Lenders and loan officers, while not directly filing for all-cash transactions, will need to be aware of the broader compliance landscape and how it might affect their clients' purchasing strategies. Title and settlement officers, as the primary filers, face the most significant operational changes, needing to implement new data collection and reporting processes. For entity buyers, such as LLCs, trusts, and corporations, there will be a loss of anonymity and a requirement to provide detailed beneficial ownership information. Ultimately, these changes may lead to longer closing timelines as new verification and reporting steps are integrated into the transaction process. The effective date for these new FinCEN requirements is firm, March 1st, 2026. From that date forward, all cash residential purchases made through entities or trusts must be reported to FinCEN to prevent money laundering, with settlement or title companies primarily responsible for filing. The timeline for preparation is now through February 2026. This period should be used to prepare systems, train staff, and update all necessary forms and procedures. Ongoing compliance will involve filing reports within the required timeframes and maintaining records for a minimum of 5 years. There will be no grace period for these regulations. Therefore, companies should begin their implementation planning immediately to ensure a smooth transition and full compliance by March 1st, 2026, safeguarding against potential penalties.